So, hello everyone. Welcome back to our SEO Optify podcast episode. And today we are going to speak about why community matters more than ever in the age of AI. And in this podcast, we talk about digital marketing, how to appear on AI search, and we also invite amazing guests. And today's guest is Alexandra. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi.
She's one of the most inspiring persons I have met recently.
Thank you.
She has built this amazing community called Creative Girls Club, and it connects international entrepreneurs, females mostly, right? It's like a women's community. And what's amazing is that they have already built over 2,000 followers on Instagram. I saw that.
Yes.
How much is it on LinkedIn?
Oh, I think it's around 400 right now. I haven't checked in a couple of days.
Okay.
We're actively working on that as well.
Nice. And also, they have been mentioned and recognized by Forbes. So, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so much. We're really proud of that.
She's one of the co-founders. Daria is the second one. And what I wanted to emphasize is that they have not only built the community, but also they are marketing experts as well,
yes,
right?
Yes,
You're more into storytelling and marketing itself, so that's amazing, and we would like to hear your knowledge about that as well in today's talk. But overall, we will get through the why do people see communities and how can companies build brands that people actually remember. So that's going to be our angle for today.
Okay.
So one more thing I wanted to say why I love this community is that one message really stand out. I think you wrote it on LinkedIn, but the most important thing is that women should celebrate each other's success more openly. So let's do that, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So welcome again.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Amazing. So how would you describe actually Creative Girls Club?
So what we've talked about with Daria is we like to describe it as a village, and everyone inside of that community is kind of a villager. So this trend got super popular on like social media. Maybe you've seen like everyone is trying to build their own village of like, build a village in the city and like bring people closer together, rebuild the sense of community. So what we're trying to do is have a space like that for people in Riga where they can combat urban loneliness, they can meet each other, and they can bring value into each other's lives, like a village really would. So, like, we've had people in our community find jobs through, like, people in there. We've had people in our community find studios or professional help that they need, like a photographer or a videographer. So we really believe in connecting on a basic human level through play and through interacting with each other as humans first, rather than professionals and titles and everything else. So that's our core belief, and we're building everything around that.
Amazing. And what problem were you actually trying to solve when you started this community? Like, why did you start to do it?
So we see a large problem of urban loneliness in Riga and in large major cities around the world. People and women are becoming increasingly more lonely. Like, sure, we are connected with phones and we're just one text away. But at the end of the day, statistics show that people are becoming more and more lonely. And so it's loneliness, and it's also, we wanted to make things more fun. Like, for example, the marketing event that we hosted recently together, we wanted to make the networking part fun. So it's not like, oh, I am so-and-so and I have 5,000 followers on LinkedIn and I'm this cool professional girl, but I'm also a human being with hobbies and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also I read on LinkedIn that kind of like this networking stuff is like, not only talking like this traditional stuff, but also like what you said, making it more fun and more nice. And and also the event you mentioned, they had a collaboration with Riga TechGirls Female Founders Lunch. I also attended there. It was amazing. Thank you for this. It gathered over 70 people, and it was the first one like with this big crowd, right?
Yeah. So it was our biggest event ever. 70 people was an absolute record for us. We're super grateful for like Riga TechGirls for collaborating with us on this event because we think that there is such a big overlap in the communities. So their women are ambitious and they dream big and they want to hustle towards their success. And so is our group. So I think it was a really great event. And the girls said that they had a lot of fun. So
Yeah, definitely. I also had a lot of fun.
thank you for joining, by the way. Like, you were fantastic. I was behind the stage and I was watching you speak and I was like, oh my God, like she's so great.
Thank you. Okay, and I really liked what you said about the loneliness. That actually, when also when you're on your own, like solo entrepreneur, you actually that journey gets lonely, and I think it's amazing that. You managed to create this space for us women to meet up and see, but it's kind of exclusive as well. It's not like everyone can be there. You're kind of checking as well, like you know who is joining there.
A little bit, yeah. Like, we've noticed that there's this natural filter. We ourselves, of course, we welcome everyone, like everyone can join. But we've noticed that there is a filter where only women who are very out there, like they're outspoken and they're open to meeting people, only those women kind of join our community. We've had a couple of very like closed introverts who are very like shy in joining. And I think this community actually plays a role in opening up those people. So it really helps. We've got the feedback that women actually feel comfortable and safe opening up and talking to women, even at their own pace, even if they're very like introverted and they're just trying it out, you know.
Okay, and looking back, what surprised you the most about what women were actually missing? Like now, when you have met these women, like what was actually missing? Because they mostly come alone, right?
Yeah, I would say 95% of the women that join us, they come alone. Sometimes they bring a friend to feel a bit more comfortable. But what I think they were missing before this community was, and at least this is what I found as well, is a sense of belonging. I'm a very active person. I like to pursue many different hobbies. Like, I dance, I I joined hiking groups in Latvia and abroad. Like, I've traveled to many countries, but I have struggled to find a place where I felt like I truly belonged, because everywhere it was a little bit just, it was not the right fit. So what we found is, because we're also doing it with the heart and we genuinely believe in what we do, people are finding belonging there and they're finding friends there. And it's amazing because you're following these girls on Instagram and then you see like, oh my God, like on Instagram a couple of weeks later, like, oh my God, they went out for coffee and they met through our community. That's amazing.
Yeah, uh, I think that is amazing that you can actually make friends if you even go alone, and it's also like having different kind of people a bit around you, and also getting outside of your comfort zone in this kind of sense. So I think that's also a bit challenging, but overall I think it's nice. So in SEO, we actually talk also a lot about the visibility, but being visible isn't the same as feeling connected. So, for example, some companies can appear on ChatGPT or be mentioned there, but when you, for example, visit their site, not necessarily the person will get connected to it and read the message, etc. So I think, and here the community is very important, that if the company around it builds the community itself, it's of course important to have that visibility on AI search, for example, but overall these are the people that are around the company. And so my next question is, how do you create genuine connection in a growing community? Because currently you're also growing, and it's growing fast.
It is.
It's growing fast.
It is.
Yeah.
Only in 6 months, like, we went essentially from zero in January, and we're now at over 2,000 people. So it's grown faster than I could ever expect and I could ever prepare. Because I was just planning to gather a couple of friends at the dinner table and, have a good conversation. But it's grown tremendously. How do we keep people connected? I think I have genuinely, like myself and Daria, we have a genuine interest in people. Like, we really love people, and we genuinely want to connect with them ourselves. And that's the energy that we bring. And I think that you can really feel that during our events. that we are there to connect with everyone and we are there to facilitate good conversations with the girls. So we're not just there as passive bystanders that are like, oh, you guys can sort yourselves out. No, we're very we're involved. We're in the trenches where we're actively participating in everything, and we join every single event. Like, we're not outsourcing it to anyone else. And additionally, what we've noticed at first is we were having these conversation cards. Mm-hmm. So we would write out deeper topics for girls to grab one of those conversation cards, and then they could answer to the group. And people called it group therapy. They really loved the concept. But what we've noticed is that women are kind of starting to, it's not that they don't like the cards anymore, it's just that they don't need them. You can join any event and everyone's already talking. I was once 15 minutes late and I'd walk in and I was expecting everyone to be sitting around and shy. And everyone was talking. Everyone was very actively sharing about themselves. And I was like, wow, I didn't even need to pull out the cards,
Mm. I really think it's because you are welcoming, very welcoming, and people feel safe. Yeah. And actually, when you enter the room, you can feel it. What's the vibe? What's the energy? So I think it's also that's why I think you need a filter when you accept the real members of of course, as you said, everyone is welcome to join, but and you can feel it. You can feel it. You can't you can just feel it. So I think that's why you also had this feeling that you can. It's oh, everyone is talking. Amazing. Yeah. But it's good that there is this option about the cards. If so, we have a plan. No worry.
Exactly. I've heard that your vibe attracts your tribe, and I think that describes perfectly what it is. And also myself and Daria were such a strong duo. I could not imagine this project without her. She's very, we've talked that I'm the heart and soul, and she's the brain and the head on the shoulders. So it's a collective effort. It takes a village.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
And actually, women needs village as well. Yeah,
exactly.
We need to be gathered.
Exactly.
The community and support. Yeah, so nice. So now we are going to play a game. Yay. We will have a game. So it's going to be a simple game, fact or myth. So I will give you the statement and you will say, is it a fact or myth, and explain maybe why you think that. Okay?
Let's do it.
So, great communities happen naturally. Fact or myth?
How big of a community are we talking?
So, okay, let's imagine your community, around 2,000 people.
Okay. Oh, that cannot happen naturally, I think. No, in our current world, I don't think so. Maybe 100 years ago, maybe more, people were gathering more and really participating in each other's lives. But the way the current world is, everyone's very individualistic. We have, Volt for deliveries. We have Bolt for cars, and we have everything that's suitable for every individual. So we don't ask people for help as much as maybe we should be asking for people for help, because that's how you build community. You call your friend and you're like, hey, I need a cab to the airport. Can you pick me up and take me to the airport? And then the next day she's like, oh, I'm feeling sick. Could you bring me some soup? And then you bring your friend some soup, and it's wonderful. And you're building that community that way. But okay. To the long story short, no, I don't think it can happen naturally.
Okay, so you basically actually need to show up and have some this passion as well to reach out to people, as you said. You need to ask for help. So don't be afraid to ask for help, right?
Exactly. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. That's how you build those bonds.
Okay, so it's a myth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a correct answer to these, or
okay. No. It's everything works. It's your correct answers. Okay. We accept everything.
Nice.
So, introverts make great community builders. Fact or myth?
I think it's also a myth. I think they make great community participators, but not so much builders. I think it takes someone, because I used to be a little bit introverted when I started growing this, and it was very difficult. I realized that I had to come out of my shell a little bit and come out of my comfort zone, because you're not only responsible for how you show up, you're responsible for the entire event. So you're responsible for the energy in the room, and you have to be the one that brings in the energy in the room. And it's not always about, hopping on stage and being super like loud and bubbly, but you are like the person that's like bringing it in, that you're facilitating it. At least the successful events, I think. So, yeah. But no shade to introverts. I love introverts. I have a lot of very introverted friends. And a lot of our community members are introverted or like reformed introverts, and they became extroverts now.
As you said, it's they are great participants.
They are.
Yeah, and eventually, if the community is right, they open up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. The next statement: bigger communities are always better. Fact or myth?
I think it's also a myth. Okay. Hopefully they're not all myths. No, I don't think the size matters as much.
Does it?
With communities, not so much. I've been to very small communities also abroad, the ones that are just starting, and the atmosphere there is very like warm and welcoming. And at our first events, when we were just like 100, 150 people, it was very warm, it was very welcoming, like everyone kind of knew each other. Everyone was friends of friends, and it was still a great atmosphere. I guess it also depends on what your goal is, because if your goal is always to meet new people, then I guess the bigger the better. But if your goal is to have a good time, then it doesn't matter.
Okay. The next one, you need networking skills to build meaningful connections.
I guess it depends on what you are looking for, because if you are looking for professional connections, then you need the networking skills. You have to play the corporate professional game. If you want to just build human-to-human connections, you don't need that. I think you can show up as a human and talk to people and connect with them. And what we are doing right now is connecting people through play. So we're hosting adult play dates where we let people like craft something with their hands or knit or like build bracelets or whatever they want to do. And I don't think there's any networking involved in that. Like people are just connecting human to human.
The next statement, every founder should join a community.
Yes, I think that's true. Fact,
for sure.
Fact, for sure. Yeah, especially if it's a founder that's building something social. So they're building it for people. I think they should always stay in touch with the community and whatever the community wants. And what we are also doing is we are constantly running questionnaires, or we're asking people for what they want and what they need in the community, and building for instead of building at, if you understand what I mean. So we're not like broadcasting at the people, we are doing it together. So like the community is what we're doing it for. So.
Okay. I also think that founders should join community because as you said at the beginning, this solo, for example, entrepreneurship, it can get a bit lonely. So if you have a community, you get the support, and the support you actually need, I think, if you join, of course, the right community, because you can talk, and if those, for example, different kind of entrepreneurs are also in the community and they maybe have even bigger experience, you can share it and get the support you actually need, not like, not from family. Family is great, but not always like,
Exactly.
they can give you that advice that's needed.
Exactly. And families often don't have like maybe the entrepreneurial background that you need as a founder, or they don't have the networking background that you need as a founder. And I've found a lot of value actually in joining the startup house events and all the events hosted in the startup like founder ecosystem. A lot of people have experienced my struggles before and can tell me like a shortcut, or can give me some valuable advice, or just be a shoulder to cry on if things get hard. So I think 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's move on to our next part.
Okay.
It's going to be more about the human connection in the world of AI. So let's talk also a bit about AI. As a marketer, how has AI changed the way you work? Not only like for the community, but also like in your work.
Yeah.
Because you're a storyteller, and also when I checked your website, I read the About Us page, and I saw that there's definitely the story storytelling as well behind it. So how does AI has changed it?
Yeah, I think our community obviously has a very large like human and human-made aspect to it. So, um, so like when it comes to AI, we don't, and I've been very stern about this with my co-founder Daria, that all of the marketing, because that's my like bread and butter, I want to do that by hand, and I don't really want to give that to AI. However, I'm not an AI hater in any sort of way. I, of course, use AI on my day to day work in my 9 to 5 and also when working with the community. For example, outsourcing like smaller, more boring tasks to it. For instance, right now we're testing like an AI bot for to moderate our community chats.
Great,
Like it's
great.
and it's something that we would otherwise be spending time like reading all the time, and it's a very large chat with a lot of participants. So we're testing that. Um, in my day-to-day work, I do most of the like ideation and creative process on my own, but at the same time, I know that I'm human and I can miss things. So I use AI as like as an editor in a way. So to make sure that I didn't make any like grammatical mistakes, that everything is coherent. Also, a lot of the emails that I write for like business matters are definitely done with AI. Like, of course, where creativity is required, I'm happy to bring that creativity. Where it's just a boring task that you need to get out of the way, it's much easier to outsource it. Yeah.
And also faster, I think,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
This question is great. I think I really want to know your answer
Okay.
about this. What do you think AI will never replace when it comes to building communities, brands, or relationships?
This is a very interesting question, and a question I've spent a lot of time thinking about because because AI is such a big topic right now, and at the same time, communities are becoming a big topic. Like everyone's building a community. It seems like I every time I go on Instagram, there is some sort of new thing. What I think they can never replace is the human touch, the creativity behind the community. What I also don't think they can replace is the passion that we bring into it. Like AI and I hope if AI takes over the world and it's like a robot, that I don't get killed like many years after for this. Like, oh my God, you said this on a podcast. Okay. Jokes aside, I don't think it can replace creativity as much as a human can produce, because people have such a wide range of knowledge and topics in our minds. And there was a very interesting study where it said that the proximity of topics that the AI connects is much closer than a human, because a human can connect, for example, astrophysics with how their cat woke up this morning, and somehow they can miraculously connect that and put that into something. Yeah, I think it's creativity, human touch, passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think also this thing with if we just sit home and speak to AI, of course, maybe it can be a bit like a supporter as well. But in general, we crave, and eventually we crave that other human and talk and like get this energy. I think you also can't replace the energy that
Exactly,
community, for example, and human itself is giving,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who is trying to build a community from scratch today?
I think, first of all, having a very concrete goal of why you're doing it, because you can make one viral post and people will gather for one event, but there has to be a uniting idea or like a uniting thing that holds those people together. There has to be one main idea and one main reason. And also, I've said this before during the marketing event. I think playing and having fun is a big part of it, because I genuinely have fun doing it. I'm looking forward to our events. I genuinely, like, if I was not the founder, I would still attend all of the events. I just like doing it. I like connecting with people.
And it also takes you out of a comfort zone. As you said before, maybe you were a bit introverted, but now when you're in a new country, by the way, Alexandra and Daria are from Ukraine, so they are now here. Something you would do differently when building Creative Girls Club? Like now you gave the advice, but like, would you do something differently? Or why do you think it actually worked out so rapidly? Why do you think it actually worked out?
I think it worked out because there's demand. Like, without the people that make the community what it is, we would be nothing. We would just be an empty Instagram page and empty events. Yeah, I think what I would do differently, like that was the first part of the question. What I would do differently is I wouldn't build it alone, because initially during the first couple of months I was alone and I was really overwhelmed because there was a lot of demand for it. Like, people were really asking for events, and we had a 150 people wait list for the first event, and we only had 10 spots at the table. And I was terrified. Like, genuinely, I woke up and I saw the number and I was like, and people were messaging me and being like, oh my god, like, are there any more spots available, or when are the new events coming up? And I was like, I don't know, and I'm scared. So I think joining forces with Daria was one of the best decisions I've made for the community, and it exponentially increased our growth. She is such a powerhouse, and she has so much energy, and she brings so much passion into the project. I think joining forces with her earlier would be what I would do if I were doing it all again. And why it grew so rapidly? Because we're passionate about it. We really love what we do, and there's demand. Like, women really need a place to connect. A lot of expats also. Like, we have women from Turkey, from Lithuania. We have women from Italy. There was a woman that specifically drove actually from Lithuania for the marketing event.
Wow.
I was like,
nice.
wow, that's really cool.
That's nice. That's nice. I think that's a big part of celebration that needs to be done.
Exactly.
Like, you know, when the 1 year is going to be after 6 months, then
we'll celebrate.
Yeah. Okay. So we are actually at the end of our conversation, and I have one last question. So, what do you think? What's the greatest gift a community can give someone?
I think it's a sense of belonging. We've already touched on this earlier, but genuinely feeling like you belong in a room and people are like welcoming you in, and you have amazing, inspiring conversations. That's really valuable, because from there you can go anywhere. You can find a job through that person. You can, I don't know, you can do anything from that basic human connection. Yeah, so I think that's the most important thing.
Okay, great. And one more, the last bonus one. So it's going to be a bit of a game type. So because you like play, I needed to add something playful as well here. So if the person wants to come to, for example, Creative Girls Club networking event, what are the 3 things you would suggest from the list? I will just read it to you.
Okay.
What are the 3 things you would suggest the person to take it?
Okay.
So there's confidence, curiosity, business cards, great outfit, friend, elevator pitch, ChatGPT, a smile, questions, LinkedIn or code, QR code, and then explain why.
Okay.
Do you need to hear the list again?
No. I think I got my finalists. I think number 1 would be curiosity. During all of our events, we try to actually do something. So we're not just, of course, we have brunches and stuff like that, but we try to have an activity that we're all doing. So curiosity, because it also takes curiosity to meet a person and to get to know them. Second one would be smile, of course. Obviously. And third one. A good outfit never hurts. Like, it never hurts.
Just look nice.
Just look nice. Like, you don't have to look nice, but it just makes you feel so much confident, like so much more confident. And you walk into a room and you're like, yeah, I got this. So yeah.
And especially, I think if you come alone, it's just where what makes you feel confident, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've had my co-founder, she went to a conference once and she was wearing this gorgeous skirt and it was made out of the paillettes, the sparkles. And everyone was coming up to her and asking her about that skirt. And I was like, yeah, like
And that's how networking starts.
it does.
Yeah, right. I would also take, like, for example, if I would go, I would also maybe take the business card because at the last event you had at the startup house with Riga TechGirls, there were some women coming. Up to me,
Yeah.
and some of them gave the business cards. I was like, they were like, oh, we can chat and talk, like, I was like, damn, yeah, you can scan my LinkedIn, but I actually, that business card, I like that. I think also a business card is like, just in case. Of course, don't bring it like, just take it, but like,
You
I
come to
think
a
just
brunch
in
and you're
case.
like,
Yeah, just
take a
in
business card.
case.
Yeah,
Just in
yeah,
case.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much for joining. And also, I have a small gift from my family
my God.
community.
Thank you.
So my dad, he's actually working with the bees, also my mom. So this is my dad's this summer's honey. So I wanted to give it to you,
Thank you so much.
as a gift from my family's community.
you.
But also, like, in general, like, bees, when they collect the honey, they usually fly to that houses. I don't know how it's called in English.
The beehives, yeah.
Yes, beehives, and there are also many of them. So it's also from bee community.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes.